Hi, this is a quick tutorial on importing a image into SPY or importing a drawing into SPY and creating a vector file for it. Also, if we have time, we'll cover how to draw it directly into a SPY. Here we go. Now, when you open SPY, this is the first window you're going to get. Now, I'm going to go to create a file, and I know my machine is 2 feet wide by 3 feet wide, so I tend to use that dimension right here. Thickness 0.75. I'm going to use the center to reference, inches, and the finish. What will it look like? I'm using cherry in this one, and standard. I can use high resolution or very high resolution. It depends on what I'm trying to do. In this case, let's just use a high resolution because I'm importing an image and trying to create a vector file for it. Okay, now say okay, and then now I have a image on my desktop of a bird, and I have an image of a drawing of a bird also. So let's first import the drawing of a bird and create a toolpath for it. So to do that, I'm going to go to this, import a bitmap for tracing, click that, and then I'll go find the image. So I have this bird on my desktop. I'm going to click on that, and then I have the bird right here. If I wanted to change it, edit it, scale it, or whatever, I can just double click on it and grab these node editing points, and then I can scale it. So here's a good sized bird that I'm going to trace to create a vector file for it, and then later on create a toolpath for it. To do that, I need to select my bird. So right now it's selected. You can see it right here. And then I'll go to this guy right here, trace bitmap, and I'll click on it. Now it gives me these options. If I wanted it color, black and white. In my case, I just want it black and white because I'm just tracing it and cutting probably the outside. So the threshold, you can play with it. It just gives you how tight your vectors are, the corners. All these are just items you can play with if you know what you're doing. And then you have to click on preview. Once you click on preview, you can see what it will look like, and then finally apply now and close. Now you have traced the image you had in here and created a vector file. But one thing you have to do, you have to delete the image you had before. And you can see it here, it's still selected. So I'm going to delete that image, and now I'm left with only lines, meaning I can cut this now with my CNC. Okay, now if I wanted to engrave this bird, it would be really easy. All I need to do is select the whole bird and then go to my toolpath and engrave it. If I wanted to cut the profile of the bird, meaning cutting on the outside, I would have to select the outside lines right here. In this case, the outside line is completely selected. I'll go and create a toolpath for it and cut the outside. Now, some cases you want to select the outside and cut it, and select the inside and engrave it. It will require two toolpaths to do that. Okay. Now to cut the outside, I'm going to select it, select the outside right here. You can see it's now selected. I'll go to toolpath and pin it. What I'm trying to do is cut a profile, so select my profile toolpath, select my tool. I'm using a 0.125 end mill, which is a 1/8 end mill. I'll say okay. I want to cut it completely through because I know my wood is 0.756, so I'm cutting completely through. I'm cutting on the outside. Do I want to create tabs? Of course I do want to create tabs. So go to edit tabs. How many tabs? I think I want to have at least 4 tabs for this whole thing, and I'll go add tabs. Then now close it. I can go and calculate my profile right here. Calculate. Okay, so it just calculated my profile, and if I want to see what it will do, I can slow it down right here and then preview. Okay, and you can see it cut it completely through, and you can see it through. So now I have my bird already cut. I'm gonna go back, and now I will engrave the inside. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back, close this. I have already a toolpath created. Now go back to my drawing. It's still selected. So now I'm gonna select the inside. So I'm gonna select everything here. I'm gonna select everything right here, and holding on to shift, I'll deselect the outside. Okay, it's deselected. Now I want to engrave the inside of my bird. Okay, so to do that, I'll go to also create profile toolpath right here. This time I'm not going completely through, so I just want to go 0.1 of an inch. So I'll do 0.1 of an inch, and then I'll select my tool. I want to engrave, so I'm using the engraving bit right here, or I can go to here and use this engraving bit, which is a 1/8 engraving bit. um, yep, I'm going to use this engraving bit. Okay, so it's a 1/8 engraving bit. It's going to do it in 3 passes to just give you a better finish. I don't need to add any tabs. I'm only engraving, and then I'll go to calculate. Okay, so now this is my second toolpath. I'm gonna reset the whole thing, and toolpath number 2 is checked. I'm going to preview it to see what it will look like. And as you can see here, this is my preview for my toolpath number 2, which is the engraving. And if I wanted to preview toolpath number 1, I can do it to select it and preview it. So reset, preview. Okay, so both of them are selected, and I can preview both of them. Okay, now you're done creating your tool passes. What I need to do, close it, and then I can go and select the first one, save it, because you have to save them as separate tool passes because they're two different router bits, so you have to save them separately. Laguna Swift, save it as toolpath number 1, or profile number, actually profile number 1. I'll delete that and add profile number 1 and save it on my desktop. Go ahead and save, and then I'll go back and check profile number 2, save toolpath, profile number 2, save it on my desktop, and now I'm ready to load my file into my router to execute my task.